Okay.
Joe, put your phone down. So, are we on? Are we on, Chris? Excellent. Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Tuning Tuesday, episode
17.
Okay, because I never know. We just got back from Texas 2K, and we're still kind of catching up. But make sure you guys get over there onto the channel and like, share, subscribe. Make sure we stay on the air. If you don't, then we're not going to be on the air. It's real simple. We had a great time at Texas 2K representing VMPPerformance. We got there, and we made a real nice presence. A lot of people came over to the booth, talked to us, sold out of T-shirts, many sizes and stuff. Everyone thought the USB stick was a lighter. Yep. Hey, yo, Holmes, is this a lighter? I'm like, no, it's a USB stick. So now we got to make lighters, apparently.
We have to.
Smoking.
Some beaks.
So exactly. So it was a good time. We ran Rebecca's car. We also ran my car. Joe's second time at Texas 2K. What were your impressions of the event as a whole? I know your wife came over. She wanted to get a whole look at the deal. How'd you like it?
I think it was busier than last year, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I liked our new spot compared to the old spot in some ways more than others.
Right.
Didn't like all the dyno noise that we had.
Yeah.
But other than that,
those scooter accidents and everything in front of us.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Time.
But the event as a whole, that event's crazy. If you haven't been, I'd recommend going. If you don't have a low 9-second or 8-second car, don't even bother racing.
Don't go.
But other than that, the event's really cool. Lots of fast cars out there. You see a lot of different things that at least we generally don't see locally. Like you'll see the occasional Lamborghini or Nissan GTR or Ferrari or all that stuff, but you don't really see modified Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Nissan GTRs, and Audi R8s. It's crazy out there.
What impressed you the most? Like what stood out the most, besides the cool BMX bikes, which we'll touch on later, about Texas 2K? And Houston in general, because my car actually was the Uber. We kind of drove around in it after the event. So what impressed you the most?
In terms of the cars we saw out there, the Lamborghinis impressed me the most.
We saw the LaFerrari and the Centenario Lamborghini. Yep. They actually raced them.
And MP, I think it was like MP12 4C was out there too, McLaren.
What the hell is that? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It didn't run like nines or high nines or something like that?
I think it was 1030s for the McLaren, but it's still very respectable. But I'd say that was the most impressive type of cars we saw out there. But you have your run-of-the-mill 2JZ S14s and 2JZ Swap the World, Supras, all that stuff.
There's a 2JZ class.
Yep.
And then there was 5 GTR classes.
690s.
Yeah, 690s. GTRs running 690s. 5 classes of GTR of cars. So that's like 16 times 5. So they had a massive field of GTRs, GTR 1, 2, 3, 4. It was unreal. What impressed me the most, honestly, was the stick shift talent that we saw, but we'll touch on that a little later. But there was a badass, I think, is it Shep? I think that makes the transmissions. It's not English Racing. I think it's Shep, I think. He went 7 O's or something like that, shifting the thing. So we'll touch on that a little later.
That's crazy.
As always, pop on, get some questions on, talk about 2K. We'll talk about Rebecca's car, what she ran, how she ran. She did really well. We're going to touch on all of that stuff. But if any questions are coming through, Carrie, we can start popping off. If not, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah, actually, we have quite a bit coming through.
Cool.
So Justin Stevens says, Alex, what do you think it will take for your car to dip into the 8s?
Actually, the 69 millimeter pulley started slipping on us, and my intercooler pump was intermittently running, so we had to back off boost, but we added some spark. I don't think it'll take much, just better air.
And a belt that's not slipping.
And a belt that's not slipping, because the 69, maybe because when I grab parts, I don't grab brand new stuff off the shelf that you guys get to, we grab it off the R&D shelf, just throw it on the car. That pulley might be just, on its way out or whatever, but we're gonna get 69 on there, a tighter belt or just a newer belt. And we're gonna see about making sure the intercooler pump keeps everything cool, and then better air. And I don't see why that car can't run a low 9, the way it sits, but it might need a converter. The 60-foot, the best I could muster was a 142. I think I can get a 135, 137 out of it with a converter easily, as long as everything bites. But that track was hooking. That track was deadly, how badass it was hooking. But a little more power, 69 and a working intercooler and pump, and should be okay. I can't imagine why I can't dip it in the 8s like that.
Yeah, exactly.
David says, Alex, that was a hell of a hole shot during the first round of eliminations at Texas 2K.
Yeah.
What was your game plan going into the eliminations?
So I was supposed to get, the field was so competitive. The top 16 were all 8-second cars and faster. That's the street car class. Then they made a B field, and 1, 2, and 3 were 8-second cars. So I was like 5, 6, 7 or something like that. And then the guy that I was supposed to race, it was like a 9.2 car, just left. So they put me up against a 9.0 car. I talked to the guy for a second. He was being a little secretive because he said the car's hurt and it's not running that well. He's a super nice guy. His name's Juan. He has the Bullet WS6 YouTube channel. He ended up saying, yeah, it's a twin turbo 427 LSX with, Holley high ram, all that stuff with Holley standalone, everything. My game plan was this. Mess with him. Get in his head and try to hole shot him, because if it's a 9.0 car, he's got me covered. So he actually messed with me. He didn't tell me his bump box was broken. So he just basically staged before I staged. So I was like, oh, okay. So the best I could do was hole shot him and hope that, he'd have an issue. Halfway through the run, he broke up a little bit, but he just went right by me right at the end, as you guys see in my video. But it was a good time. The guy was a cool dude, but my game plan was just, it's an auto. Just tree him and just sit back and listen to the radio the rest of the way.
Trenton says, you guys implied last week that the control pack strategy has limited potential. Could you elaborate? I'm also assuming you're referring to, quote, background differences inherent to the strategy itself that only become an issue with the power adder.
No.
I wouldn't say that it's limited in any aspect. I believe what I had said is that the way that you have to tune them is different than you can tune a stock ECU. You can't use the traditional IAT pinning like you would use on a Roush car. You have to use an IAT breakout harness that essentially plugs in line with the mass airflow sensor and picks up the IAT at the downstream sensor as opposed to inside the mass airflow sensor. So you can't, from that aspect, it's not like a stock ECU, because a stock ECU, whether it's automatic or manual, you can pin a IAT2 into it. That way you get IAT2 and IAT1, and you can tune it on a normal strategy or a Roush strategy. You can't do that with the control pack ECUs.
Right. Is 15 different? 15 and up control pack?
I would imagine it is not all that different in that aspect, but I don't think you could change the strategy on it. Well,
right, you
can't anyways. So
yeah, exactly. I don't think it'll crank unless you use the actual strategy that it came with.
yeah, exactly. So don't think of it as you can't use that PCM when you're making a 1400 horsepower turbo car or a 1400 horsepower supercharged car. You just have to tune it differently than you would a stock ECU.
You good?
Yeah.
Nickel says, did VMP run the 18 Mustang car? I missed the event. I had to work.
No, that car's not ready yet. It's getting a lot of suspension work, safety equipment. It's slated to go a lot faster. It's going to be lighter, a lot faster than the S197 car. So they used the 11 Mustang to do a lot of the testing of the suspension componentry, power adder, and just to kind of get all the combos squared away so that it can just get thrown onto the new car, even though the new car will have all the hot stuff. So just getting some runs in, getting her used to the transmission, and it performed really well. But no, my answer is no. The 18 Mustang is not ready yet.
Jose says, thanks for the picture with my nephew, Alex.
There was a lot of guys that shoved babies in my face and take pictures. So I don't know exactly which one you were, but I know there was a bunch of guys there that when I moved to Houston, that's kind of when I got known. So I have a lot of friends there. And it was cool to see them all come up and say hello and everything. It was a lot of fun.
Sean says, good job, Alex, at Texas 2K.
Thank you. I mean, I lost, so that's not that good of a job.
Well, you went there, you didn't break anything.
Good job on losing.
You got home.
Yeah, that's it. I drove it. I drove it here, drove it back.
Drove it all around Houston.
Drove it everywhere. Yeah, so yeah, we drove it all around Houston and raced it. So it was a good time.
David says, Jason Miller is a mad scientist when it comes to track prep. His skills result in wicked 60-foot times, busted axles, and catching snakes.
We don't know what that guy does, but whatever he does needs to be, you need to use him for any event, in my opinion, that you have high horsepower cars where traction is not going to be that much of an issue. You guys saw what El Toro did. You guys saw the 60-foot times that Rebecca cut. I mean, it was unreal. So it was insane prep. Justin got stuck 4 times. People lost their shoes. It was unreal prep all weekend. It was a good time.
Random someone came on and said, you lost with dignity, though.
Yeah, it's all good. I was outgunned. I know that next year, depending on what happens, I'd like to come there with a mid to low 8-second car, but it's all about this.
That and going into that event, we knew
We
you
knew.
weren't going to win the street class if you
Exactly.
didn't have a 7-second car.
Exactly, because the top 3 were 7-second cars.
Yeah.
Gary says, Alex, just want to say thanks for the figure it out advice last week with my CJ setup. Used some ingenuity and got it figured out.
Right, there you go. It doesn't fit. It's not meant for it, so figure it out.
Yeah. Whip out that razor blade.
For the grinder.
Dorian says, Joe, how long before the truck goes to the track?
This guy's like heavy breathing.
When is it going? When is it going?
We love Dorian Johnson. He's good people.
Soon. I just have to get the suspension and the Caltrax and the tires on. I'm off this week. I'm here for this show only. I'm gonna try to get the suspension on it this week, but with it already being Tuesday and all the other projects I got going, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it this week.
He owns
so.
like 8 cars, and he's only got a 12-car garage.
Why you got a 12-car garage? But yeah, it's pretty high on my priority list, but I got a couple other cars I got to get finished and sold before I really focus on the truck.
Ramon says, look at Joe, he lost the perm, LOL. Finally, nice
Ramon
haircut.
Sierra.
Should make truck faster.
Yeah, that's him. I'm
He
more
says he should
aerodynamic
make the
now.
truck faster.
Oh, he loves.
It was like 3 pounds of hair,
He
so it
loves
probably is
bragging on
faster.
Joe's haircuts, man. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, man, what's going on with that lineup, bruh?
What's that lineup like?
I don't know, Ramon. I think your eyebrows are a little too well kept, though. I've seen your profile pictures. I don't know about them eyebrows, bro. They're a little too well kept.
Are they
Eric,
drawn on?
Oh, they look like they did the microblading on his stuff.
Ramon, you on watch, man. You on watch.
Eric says a 28 or 26-inch tire for an MT82 N car with 331 gears.
26. I like the 28 for sidewall, but the gearing, the 26 might benefit you. But man, you're gonna slam that tire, so probably put the pressure on the higher side. But I prefer a 28 with more gear than a low sidewall tire with less gear.
I'm in the same boat.
Kevin says limit on mileage you would go when buying a used S550 50.
50? Because if he's driven it more than that in 3 years, that's 25,000 miles a
Yeah,
year.
I didn't think about the year portion. I'm like 75, 85,
Yeah.
85,000 miles wouldn't bug me.
No, and if it's highway, and if it's stock, I don't care. I don't care about miles. And who gives a crap? It's such a tame tune that it's not going to hurt it. But if the car's been modified and he has over 50 and he looks like he's ragged it out a little bit, I might want to, stay under 50.
My primary concern would be looking for a clean car.
Yeah, clean, not many
Well
chips.
kept.
Well kept, yeah.
Service records.
Because there's
stuff
guys
like
that have 100. There's an Eliminator. I don't know what the car. That car has the blackest paint for an 11 or 12.
Oh, John's car.
That's a beautiful car. Yeah, looks like he barely drives it.
Dan says, what's your opinion on the new DW400 pump that Mac is offering and with a bat? Should this handle E85 on an S550 with a Gen 2R?
I'll tell you when I test it.
We haven't
Until
tested
I
it
do,
yet.
I don't really like giving opinions on stuff I
Something
haven't
we haven't
tried.
tested, yeah. So we don't have it. We haven't tested it yet. We still prefer a boosted car has a full return style fuel system, so you never ever have to worry about it again. But we'll see. We'll get one in the shop if we think it's a thing. But if we don't think it's a thing for us, then we won't have any data on it.
Kevin came back and said, thanks guys, very helpful. Nickel wants to know S550 weight transfer, do's and don'ts.
What? I don't know. Dump the clutch and hope it hooks and everything stays together? I don't know.
Yeah.
Weight transfer, does he mean suspension? Does he mean tire? Does he mean, yeah. It's a loaded question, Nickel. I know Nickel, he's tuned by us and he has, I think, a GT350 intake runs like low 11s or mid 11s. He can drive too, but you need to elaborate a little bit.
Eric says, what are your thoughts on the 18 manifold on pre-18 Coyote cars? Any testing on it yet?
No.
You gotta understand, we are VMP Performance, right?
Nickel came back and said suspension, sorry.
Yeah, okay, we're VMP Performance. We get a stock car with a couple of intakes, and then we throw a blower on it. Okay, we don't go 18 on S197, GT350 on S197, Cobra Jet on S197, and then that is a tremendous waste of time.
Well, we've done it in the past.
We've done it, but we don't. We're not going to go there and vet every intake out there. Put it on,
Yeah, and
here's the tune, see how it goes.
when we did it last, it was everything up to the Cobra Jet. We didn't try the Holly or the
Sniper, the
Edelbrock. I think Edelbrock has a new
Edelbrock has
intake.
one. Holly has one. Who else has one? I don't know who else has one.
But no, back when we tested it, these other intakes weren't available. We tested Cobra Jet, GT350, stock manifold, 11 to 14 manifold, all that on 15 to 17. I think the article is in like, Steve Turner did the article. I don't know who he was with at the time that he did that, but
Right.
you could find it with a Google search.
Right. There's so many articles where people just test over and over. But you got to understand, I mean, we could do it on Chucky, but I think Chucky's just going to get a tune and then then a blower. We're just going to go right to it. I don't think there's a huge benefit to vetting that because you can get so many varying results from different people. But we have a stock S197. It might be a good idea to throw it on there once don't we have an intake out there in the wild?
Yeah.
Yeah, so once we get it back, we'll throw it on and see if it's worth any power on the older stuff.
Yep.
Gino says, what would happen if I ran E85 on my stock 18 GT? Would it run better or mess something up?
Without a tune?
Without a tune, you'll mess something up.
You'll mess something up. Next
It
question.
will definitely not run better.
Sorry guys, lots of questions coming
It's
in.
okay.
It's all good. Just hanging out.
That's not a bad
It's
thing.
funny how the streetcar class, I think, did 2 Mustangs win it?
I'm not sure.
I know that
I feel like there
Oscar
wasn't-
Morin won the B class, and I don't know who won the A class. It might have been the black car that won it last year, who was running like 820s, like all the time. But I know Brett LaSala
Sheldon's
was in-
customer.
Yeah, the black car. I know Brett LaSala was in there, and the Brom, Jim, is it Jim Brom? He
Jim
was
Brom.
there running. Rebecca was running. Oscar was running 2 cars. It was a ton of. It's either Mustangs or like insane LS cars or insane 2JZ cars. It was
Or like
there's
LS
nothing in
swap
between.
270Zs
There was
and
a
stuff.
there was a nitrous V6 car.
Nitrous V6,
Nitrous
like
V6
11 up
car.
V6?
Yeah,
So
11 up V6. He gave it a good effort, but I don't think he qualified for either of the fields.
Israel wants to know 2008 GT500 or 1314 Coyote?
Do you want resale value or do you want power?
Well, I think
Although you can get them both to make power.
yeah, I think the GT500. Yeah, the GT500. I'd stick with 2 on that one because I can make 800 reliably-ish, as opposed to the 13 or 14 Coyote where I'm kind of limited to be like 750 and under.
The transmission will hold together better.
Yeah, oh yeah, the 6060 and unless you get a 6R80, but I like the GT500 in that comparison, personally, with no stripes. Take the stripes right
Stripe
off.
delete.
Everything.
Kevin says, getting a tune on a 14 GT with PMAS CAI. Ported intake manifold, cat delete. Do you recommend replacing spark plugs or are the stock ones fine? If recommend to replace, which ones? And what are the benefits over stock?
Stock plugs are fine.
Ta-da! Don't you hate that you type that all out and they go, stock plugs are fine, man. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's stock
be
plugs are
just
fine. Yeah. Hell, we regap. Some people actually Roush regaps stock plugs, don't they? Or do they
And
use a
they're-
colder plug?
They use a colder plug
Got it.
included with the kit.
Got it. I didn't know if they use like when you get a Roush kit, do they recommend
I want to say
regapping the
they.
stock club?
I want
The
to say
stock
they
plug?
include a set of plugs
Got it.
when they send out the kit, or recommend that you buy this certain part number plug.
Got it.
What's the best way to test E85 in your opinion?
Best
You
versus
put it- you
most
put it-
practical.
You take it from the top, and you put it on
right on the tip of your
the
tongue.
and you
Um,
pure vanilla.
pure vanilla.
Pure vanilla.
1,000
Right.
taste buds.
Nice.
10,000 taste buds. You get this tester from
You get the test tube.
from Quick Fuel. The test tube.
Yeah, the test tube.
It is a tube. You get a tester from Quick Fuel. It's real easy. You fill up to a certain amount with regular water, and then you fill up to the other line with E85 and shake it some more, and then
Shake
you
it up.
put it on there, and you kind of see where everything levels out, and the line tells you generally where the ethanol content is. But Quick Fuel, look it up. Summit Racing. I don't know if we have any on our site, but the E85 testers are readily available.
Dale, who asked the question, is laughing. He's laughing. He's like, test. Taste.
2 people will get that reference.
Yeah.
Like 2,
Maybe 3.
and we want to be friends with those.
We got 2 right here.
Yeah, exactly. None of these guys got it. They're like, we're
Someone
lost.
says, test E85, just mix it with protein.
With whey protein
What
or
kind of-
creatine?
I'm afraid to know. I'm
I
really
like the
afraid
chocolate
to know.
stuff.
Chocolate.
Let me look here. See where I want to go.
Did I send you that video earlier?
No, what?
It's like
If anyone knows, okay, real quick, while we have a little time, if anyone knows where we can buy like a double bass, like a, you know, what do you call those things? Like a fidget, you know, it's like an adult fidget spinner, so I'm gonna keep it busy. We need double bass, like drums, like at our feet, so we can just double.
So we can just justice for all and Avenged Sevenfold everything.
So we can just like, you know, rock out the Metallica stuff while we're tuning, because we're fidgety like that. So if anyone has like a small-ish double bass drum deal, let us know.
Yeah, like
just send it.
a pocket size.
Yeah.
Just so you can go like this and just play a beat.
I'd love that. Just annoy the crap out of everyone here.
So, best
tuners are
VMP
here.
kit for road course racing.
Best what kit?
Best VMP kit for road course racing. What should I look for at future problems?
Stage 2 and Stage 3.
Yeah.
Get the one with the fan heat exchanger.
Yep.
Stage 1, no fan heat exchanger. So the Stage 2 or Stage 3 would be your best bet. In terms of reliability, durability, things to look for, just make sure you change your plugs in a timely manner. Monitor IAT2s while you're on the track. Depending on how long your sessions are, you may need to go to a larger tank. Possibly use ice at the beginning of the pass or the run. But just monitor IAT2s. Make sure you're not getting into any sort of crazy zone and downstream air temperatures. And
What's the crazy zone? 160 and up?
I'd say 165 and up.
Okay.
You really got to yank some timing out up there.
Got it.
Some weird things coming in.
Sweet.
So Oscar says stock everything besides long tube headers and matching off-road cat, less X type car has stock tune. Is it safe to drive?
No. I mean, well, yes, but I don't want to say safe, like go drive it to California. But, I mean, you're going to have codes pop up, a bunch of stuff pop up. Stock tune, no cat. What's the worst that could happen? Check engine lights.
Yeah, that's about it.
Says it's nice meeting you guys at Texas 2K. I've sent in my watt data log as Joe requested.
Sweet.
Nice.
That's what we like.
Nice.
See? They listen. Listen.
It's a beautiful thing.
Don't go to the track with a vacuum leak and then complain about the 1-2 shift. Listen to us.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Jack says,
Irish. I made $6 million last year. Why are you here?
Nobody get hurt, Irish. Where's your crew, Irish?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Where's your crew?
I just watched Captain Phillips
Yep.
for the first time. It's the best movie ever. It's the funniest thing I've seen in a while. Absolutely.
Great movie.
Sorry, Carrie.
Tom Hanks pulling through again.
We get up on tangents here.
Yeah.
Jack says, what could cause a lope on startup with no ghost cam? And it will happen on cold startups and also warm startups, just completely random and never constant.
Couple of things.
Usually lean.
Yeah, lack of fuel.
Lean startup.
Lack of fuel, and then the enriching is not happening, or it's not compensating enough, or it's not enriching properly. That's why we don't really like cold start data logs, because a lot of people say, hey, it's doing funky on cold starts. Well, you know, the car is still trying to enrich to get up to temperature, so that, you know, there's timing is at negative, and then it blends into on the stock tune, and then blends in, but the fueling is still like 0.84, 0.85, trying to get rich and get the cats hot and everything warmed up. So cold start data logs for us are kind of useless. You know?
Unless you have a auxiliary wideband
Aftermarket,
wired into the car that's controlled via separate circuits, so that even on key on and while you're cranking it's powered. It's hard to dial that stuff in without seeing it in person. You kind of got to blindly guess at what the problem is, because fueling isn't, or the widebands and the short-term corrections aren't active during cold start, and the time that they aren't active is dependent on startup ECT. So that's why, like he alluded to, we don't like looking at cold start data logs. If you're working with us, we like looking at warm after the car's been running for about 3 or 4 minutes data logs, completely up to operating temperature. We look at your fuel corrections at idle during a slow rev and at watt. After all that stuff's dialed in, if you still have cold start issues or startup issues, let us know and we can see what we can do about it without the sensors that we really need to get it dialed in perfectly.
Right.
Stefan wants to know, Gen 3 6.2 Raptor Supercharger yet?
Nope. Make that real simple.
Yeah, I mean, none of our kits will fit that. Neither blower we have will fit that GT500 or Coyote, so
Nope.
No. Lewis says, how much horsepower a stock clutch can hold on a 14 Mustang 5.0?
It'll hold 700. Well, whether it will release or not when you need it to, and let you go into the next gear, that's a whole another question.
That and how long will it hold 700 is the other part of the question. Because as long as the clutch is in good condition and it's not cold when you're trying to get it to hold 700 pound-feet of torque or 700 horsepower, generally speaking, you'll be fine.
Right.
When you go to try to race the car, like you alluded to, you'll have problems getting the car to shift. So if you're making 700 horsepower, you've put at least $7,000 into the car.
At least.
At least. Buy a clutch.
Dale says, are you both going to be at Carlisle Ford show in Pennsylvania?
It hasn't really been determined yet.
I will be, 100%.
Whether or not I will be is kind of 50-50 at this point.
And you know what, honestly, if you really want to go just to experience it, but last year it was so busy, I think we should go. But it's hard because then now we have no tuners on staff. So it becomes a problem. So I know I'll be there. At least 2 tuners will be there, whether it's Justin and I, or me and Joe, or Joe and Justin. 2 tuners will be there.
Jeremy says, does locking out the IMRC benefit an NA car on a 350 manifold?
Hell no.
Hell to the no.
To the no.
Hell to the no.
So the stock, the way the stock IMRCs work is basically they're sort of on the, they're shut. So think of it like a 3-valve, right? So you get a little low in torque, and then once you go watt or transitioning, they open up. The only thing it does is make it like a Boss intake car. Basically, you open them up, you take them out of the way. Now we have to reconfigure everything. The nice thing about the GT350 stuff, they work like stock, and they work well. You get a little torque down low, plenty of horsepower up top, because up top they open out of the way if you have it plumbed in properly.
And it helps with emissions.
It does help emissions for you emission state people.
So Brad says, so if I purchase a tune from y'all, any items I purchase from VMP, you will give a free tune update?
Yes, but to a certain extent, right? Like I still don't know if you have a bone stock M90 Roush car, and you buy a 1.9 upgrade kit, do we tune that for free?
If we didn't already tune the car, no. If we are currently tuning the car and they buy the blower kit through us, we will update the tune for free.
There you go. That's the only one I was tricky on, but now there's clarity on it.
Yeah, so as long as you're a current tuning customer and your tune's not 5 years old, if you buy a part through us, regardless of whether it's a cold air intake, a thermostat, or a supercharger, you get the tune for free.
Oscar says, nice seeing you guys this weekend. I will be sending my data logs as soon as possible.
What's his last name?
Oscar Guerrero.
Got it.
Okay.
Norm says, 14 Roush F-150 stock Granatelli or some other brand of MAF sensor do you recommend? Only mod is twin 67 throttle body.
MAF sensor or cold air?
Stock.
Yeah, any MAF sensor. We don't recommend any aftermarket MAF sensors for 11 and up Mustangs.
Unless you're like a turbo car at 1100 wheel and you don't want to change your cold side piping. But for a vast majority of the supercharged stuff we do, don't change your mass airflow sensor. Just leave it stock, put it in a larger housing within reason that will measure the correct amount of air that's going into your engine up to your peak horsepower level, plus about 10 to 15% minimum.
Right.
You kind of want a little bit of headroom there.
Headroom.
Yeah.
Chris says, my SCTX4 says it needs a software update, but it is holding my stock tune. If I update it, will it erase my stock tune?
So what you do is you return your car to stock. Okay, return your car to stock, then try to update it. So that when you go plug it back in, it draws the stock tune back.
Ta-da.
Gary wants to know, will you be tuning at the American Muscle Mustang show?
No, we are just there in a support role, and I think we're again doing the drag race portion of it. So we'll be doing that.
Yes, I think we are doing the drag race.
But we're not tuning there. It's a one-day show. It's huge. We're just going to be there revving like we did last year, answering questions, racing, and
touching tips.
Get out of there, touching tips all day.
Moon landing.
Moon landing.
Omar says, do you think that the MMR head cooling mod is useful? And by the way, thanks for the great content.
I find that for most vehicles, the MMR head cooling mod really doesn't, or any head cooling mod doesn't have any measurable,
that's the key.
Any measurable increase in durability over the stock stuff.
Black Light says, are you guys tuning for the 18 to 15 intake manifold swap? If you do you guys recommend the lockouts or pigtails for the CMCV?
Depends on the year, right?
Well,
Oh, how about
pigtails
it-
for 15 to 17 or 15 17 car with an 18 manifold. Just use the adapter pigtails. I know someone was talking about how they were making the pigtails and they were going to be for sale soon or for pre-order. Just get the pigtail adapters, run the 18 manifold, and we can tune it.
And then pre-15, you can just open them up and be okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently Power Stroke came on and wants you to touch his eggplant. So
I wonder why you would even say that, Carrie.
just because it was funny.
She wants to talk about eggplants.
She wanted, yeah.
Yeah, it's an eggplant. Waleed says, Alex, and with a heart, he loves you.
Oh.
Ramon says, look at Joe Superfly. He got rid of the mop.
Ramon? Again?
Apparently
Savage.
he did it on both YouTube and
That's
Facebook. So
great.
he's cross-posting, making sure it'll be...
I grow hair fast.
Lou
It's a white boy
says,
thing.
I love how he gives a crap. He gives a crap about
says-
another dude's haircut.
Yeah.
Alex, just watch your latest upload. Don't look like you were happy with your ET. What's
No.
next besides the converter to get to your 8?
No, I wasn't. It's not that. I wasn't happy with my ET. It was things out of my control. The intercooler pump decided to not work properly, and I couldn't give it more boost because of that. And I had belt slip. So I said, let's just be easy. 75.
Run consistent.
Run consistent, and that's all you can do. Sometimes, it's not in the cards, and I'm not one of those idiots that's like, well, I don't care if I blow it up. I'm gonna make it
Just
blow it
gonna
up."
send
Yeah,
it.
and then you send it. You have a car in the garage for 3 years. No
Yep.
thanks. I'm not that guy. I drove it back. I was happy. Went 9.4s in hot, muggy conditions. I was very happy. I'm not gonna cry about that.
Power Stroke came back and he's laughing and sending kisses. So
Must be to you, because you're the one that read the comment.
Do we want to touch on the racing stuff? I don't know how far in we are.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done any. We haven't really talked about much of the racing. You want to talk about Rebecca's stuff? What do you think?
Well, I
you
was
wanna
just
talk about?
thinking, he's got all those videos ready and whatnot. We
Yeah.
can't let them go to
Can
waste.
Can I hit on a couple of the questions
No,
on YouTube?
no, they got plenty. They got plenty. They're good. They're gonna talk about eggplant and touching tips and stuff. It's all silliness.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
going to touch on any more of that. But there are a bunch of questions on you.
That's okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go
Are
ahead.
you saying go ahead?
Yeah,
to
go
me
ahead
or
with
go
the
ahead
questions,
to-
and then we'll talk about the racing to end the show.
Yeah.
Ish.
Okay, so just so you know where we stand, it's about 2:05
Yeah.
Okay.
right now. So I'm going to hit a couple of these questions. Travis has been doing pretty good on going on there and actually answering some of them manually.
Mint.
Yeah, so that's been helpful. Christopher Lyons basically said 17 GT, Cobra Jet, or GT350 intake. What's the differences? Do I have to cut the hood for the CJ? Thanks so much, guys. And Christopher, thank you for the nice compliment. Thank you.
I want to answer that, but at the same time, I kind of want to send him a link for, let me Google that for you.
Right.
Because that was something that was touched on in 2015.
Yeah.
And there's posts everywhere about that.
The CJ is superior.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care what any nut rider says anywhere else. The CJ is superior. If you want to go fast, you got to modify stuff. You got to
Yeah.
cut some stuff up.
Lowering engine motor rounds.
Lower engine, yeah.
Yeah, Gabe came back and said, yes, you have to cut the hood or lower the motor for a Cobra Jet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were going there, but no. Sorry, she answered it for us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll just let them do it.
Yeah.
We'll
There's like a forum where they just kind of answer each other's questions. Then they like rag on each other. It's really wild if you actually watch it. Like on the Burnout Box, you can just see it go through.
Yeah.
They all make fun of Donnie. Never seen anyone drink that much water in my life.
Oh, Donnie.
I know you know for sure, but do you see the new 2650 TVS causing any problems with the lower cage on the 3 to 4 Cobra, like with some of the bigger blowers?
No.
There you go.
GT500 cooling mods with the tune or power mods first. New owner, just curious.
GT500 with head cooling mod?
What did he say? Say it again, Carrie. I'm sorry.
He wrote exactly '09. I guess it's '09. GT500 cooling mods with the tune or power mods first? Question mark. So he wants to know.
Right, cooling mods with a tune or power mods first? Power
Right.
mods.
Yeah.
And then-
I mean,
and
in
then-
stock form, the car cools just
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, if
Ford
you-
wouldn't release the car if it didn't cool
You know-
adequately.
Exactly.
Wondering if you guys have heard anything, if they're going to stop production on the Gen 2R. Travis already answered that.
We're not going to stop production on that. I don't think so. No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Jacob wants you to talk about the 2018 GT tuning and a 2018 with a Gen 3.
What about it?
Yeah, I mean, what tuning? How? What fuel? What trans?
What are you curious about?
What are you curious about? Just talk about tuning. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
We
that
tuned
general.
it.
We need specifics, and that's kind of one of those things where, you need to ask us like power differences on E85. 91 versus 93. I don't know. You'd ever run 91 on a 12-to-1 compression car. I don't care that it has direct injection, but that's on you, buddy. It's kind of a big question. Kind of a broad brushed question. So we're just gonna say, stay tuned.
And
whatever.
the next?
Yeah, next one. Yeah.
Charles
Get out of here.
says, have either of you researched the air-to-water intercooler chillers offered on the market? Active Interchiller is based in Florida. What are your thoughts on these systems?
They work fine.
They seem to work real good. The Demon has a stock unit with a killer chiller style setup. I personally don't want to rely on a air conditioner to cool my downstreams. Personally, I'd rather just do the manual thing and throw ice in there or just a bigger tank. But they seem to work. I'm not ragging on them, but they seem to work just fine.
I used one on my white Cobra. Worked just fine.
Stephen wants to know,
I know it's a bug.
Yeah. Just hanging out.
It's okay. Go ahead.
It's not that big. You
We're
don't
just
have
gonna
to worry
start
about
going
it.
like this, and there's
It's a
bug.
flying cockroach! Get ready to get down!
Stephen wants to know, doing a built Gen 2 Coyote swap on my 03 Mach 1 with the plan of using a VMP Gen 3. Should I build the motor for a 10-to-1 or 9.5-to-1 compression?
What fuel?
Car will be a weekend driver and track car.
What fuel?
Need to know fuel.
Need to know fuel, because why would you go low compression if you have the octane? Ever.
If it's going to be a 91 or 93 octane, keep it below 9-to-1. If you're going to go
Keep it below
E85 or
9-to-1?
race gas, no knock sensors,
Oh, because
homie.
of the 2650. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that and it, on those cars with a reasonable pulley size, it's going
But
to
Gen
make...
2 Coyote.
Gen 2
swap.
Coyote?
Gen 2 Coyote swap.
Oh, I heard Mach 1.
No. You heard what you wanted to hear. I heard what I wanted to hear. I heard Coyote. You heard Mach 1. I
Yeah,
forgot that
11-to-1.
part. Yeah. 11-to-1 stock compression, as long as you got good fuel. 93, we've seen great gains on the 2650. If you have E85, whatever.
Just keep boost moderate, and then on E85, all the compression you can get, all the boost you can get, and party.
Yep. Don't think of it as low compression for superchargers. No, shut up. No, just keep the compression stock. You're good. As long as you have the octane.
John
long as
says
you're
he's got a
Coyote.
question about knock.
What about it?
What about it?
He said, noticing a small amount of knock when taking off from a light between 1 and 4 at max, but at watt, I'm negative.
Okay.
No light max, I'm in negative, no light max -7.
Okay.
Should I be worried about the knock at takeoff?
No.
No, it's probably some false stuff, because you're not making enough power, or you're not generating enough load to matter. It's probably just resonance you're picking up, probably from a buzzy exhaust or your pipe's axle back, whatever you got. But it's probably something that's false. I can't imagine it's an actual detonation event happening, unless you're taking off at the bottom of a hill straight up.
Or if you take off at half throttle.
Yeah.
But if you're being tuned by us and you'd like us to review a log of that, feel free to send it in. I can tell you what I think about it. But just based on what you're saying, it doesn't sound like something I'd be really overly concerned with.
Right.
David says, thoughts on a KB Big Gun intercooler and intake mod, worth the money or better spent elsewhere? He's got a 12 GT500, fully built, ready for a Gen 3.
Well, it doesn't hurt to put a bigger intercooler in there, better core, but I've never really seen, we haven't done the test here to be like, oh, IAT's this, IAT's that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be testing that, something similar to that soon on your car.
Yes, with the MFP lower.
But we haven't, aside from like 13, 14 intercooler swaps, we haven't tested the Big Gun intercooler setup on a GT500 yet.
Jonathan says, looking to gain torque on my Rouse Charge 14 GT. No other mods besides blower.
Okay.
So I'm guessing he wants your recommendation.
Pulley down, bro. Be a man. Let him swing.
Or more octane.
Right. Easy.
More boost.
More octane or more boost. Or put some 456s in it.
Profit.
Exactly.
Jacob says he wants 2018 info in general. I've got 3K on mine and really chomping at the bit for a blower.
3K in mind?
3,000 miles, I'm guessing.
Oh, I'm
On
like,
mine?
boy, you better come up with some more money.
No.
More money.
So he wants more info on 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like general, like, you know, it's so regurgitated as to, I mean, Google, there's so much stuff out there as to tuning. Ooh, some guy made 1,000, I think Beefcake made 1,000, someone put a CJ on it. Google's your friend on that. We can't give you tuning intricacies because we'll be here for hours, and we're not that type of show. We're more like a very general question, very easy peasy type stuff. If we're gonna be like, well, you know, the way the operating system works with the DI-PI blending factor, you're gonna be like, 40 people will go, but you'll still be tuned. We're trying to keep it in a general conversation about tuning, but if you want, like, you know, what people have done, Google's your friend. There's posts
Yeah,
everywhere.
in terms of how much power you can make and whatnot, and in terms of superchargers, I think the only kit that's currently available is ProCharger.
Yep,
And I don't
correct.
even know if that's actually available versus
They got
a few
something
shops have some.
Exactly.
James says, how much timing can the 13-14 cars take, and at what point do you see a benefit to pulley up because of heat soak and timing?
13, 14 cars. So are they talking GT or GT 500?
GT.
He doesn't say.
I'm thinking GT because it's kind of more of a Coyote centric.
Although he said pulley up.
He
Pulley.
says.
Well, that means like boost.
He says
right?
he
Yeah.
does say
But
it's
it's really
on a
pulling down.
He
On a
does
what?
say it's on a Roush TVS E85 setup.
Oh, 85, but it's stock, not an illuminator.
Probably stock short block if he's
21, 22 degrees with a 79 or 75 millimeter pulley. You'll be in the 700 range-ish. But, you know, I've seen guys pop at 650, you know, because the car's been beat up with 93 forever, bad 93. But, you know, 79 millimeter pulley for us is generally like a 22 degree car, makes 710, 720-ish on a manual. And it's real happy. But, you know, I've seen logs, not of ours, 27 degrees. It might do it for a little while, but I'd like to stay under 23.
Poor boy says he would like to say thank you to Christy, Travis, and Alex. I pulled my car out Saturday to grab some gears. Throttle response is crazy quick.
Oh.
The SCT X4 tuner and PMOS is sweet.
Sweet.
nice.
Nice. I like it. Hey, we met Slab Shack this weekend.
We did.
We met Slab Shack. He was like, hey, man. I'm like, what's up? He goes, Slab Shack. I was like, hey, what's up? We talked for a while. Super nice guy, city truck driver, watches our show all the time. He introduced himself. Super nice guy. We met a lot of like fans out there from the show. I know he talked to you for a little bit. In the
Yeah.
booth.
Yep.
Super
Cool
nice
kid.
guy, yep.
Cool kid.
KK Cobra says, looks like a 12 GT500. What's the best clutch, RST or RVT? McLeod looking to bump horsepower to 600s.
You could try a Mantic. We like Mantic, but McLeods do make good clutches for those vehicles. They're a little, there's what, 1200 HD.
Well, there's RST, RXT,
For
1200.
GT500 also? Why would you want an RST on a
What was it,
GT500?
GT?
GT500.
Oh, yeah, RXT. Don't even waste your time with an RST.
Right.
So RXT or Mantic.
There you go.
Ryan wants to know, Alex, what kind of oil do you run in your engine?
Stock stuff.
Stock oil.
Stock stuff. You see the oil cap? It says 550. Done. No, you gotta run Royal Purple, AMSOIL. Shut up. Stock stuff. Car makes like 900 wheel. Everyone's chirping on them dumb stuff. Stock stuff. Motorcraft 550.
Should I get the Lucas oil
Oh
additive?
no, this car's gonna blow up.
Oh man, he's using Mobile 1020. That's
What an
way
idiot.
too
Oh,
thin.
mobile sucks. Stupid. Stock stuff.
Yeah,
Peyton,
stock stuff.
I'm not
works
an
fine.
oil whore.
oil whore.
Yeah. There's
Nice.
some guys out there that are like, oh, you gotta use AMSO.
Oh, my God.
You don't gotta use any stock. Look, GT500s come out of the factory with 550 motorcraft junk in it, and it's fine.
If
You
it
guys
meets API and I think it's GLI ratings.
Oh no, guarantee some thread will come up because of this, because oh, he uses stock stuff, and my car will have 50,000 miles on a built motor and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Stock, I use stock. I'm not telling you to use stock. If you think putting purple stuff in your junk is good, fine, I don't care. I'm literally gonna put stock style stuff.
Just don't use vegetable oil and you're good.
Vegetable oil, right, yeah, exactly.
Oil cap says 520.
Actually, not on performance package cars.
That's what Dorian says.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, if he has a supercharged F-150, you know, and if that's what he's using, but mine says 550 because it's from a performance package car. Depends on which oil cap.
Bum, bum, bum.
Hi, Dorian.
Hi, Dorian.
Peyton says, when looking for Coyote swap engines, what mileage on engines is too high in your opinion?
If you can hear it
Is it
running,
20,000 beat the snot miles
Right.
or 80,000 miles? You can't really.
go by miles.
You're not going to get an honest answer on that. So
Like Donnie's truck probably has the last 3,000 miles more damage than the first 25 it's had. So it all depends.
James says, hello guys, great product.
and the tornadoes are here.
Are they? Oh yeah.
I
hear
just
it?
installed the Gen 2R and love it on my GT,
Awesome.
my 2012 GTS CS.
Nice.
California special, nice car.
Nice.
They're so cheap now, man. They're so. I mean, to get into Coyote now, it's awesome. It's a good time to be alive. You could be into it for high teens
Need
and
a
have
boss.
a third. If you can get a boss, you're good.
Get a
I'd get a
boss.
boss in a heartbeat. but I
13
can't
boss.
find it. Can't find it. White, no stripes.
Yep. Like Grant's car.
Go ahead and say it.
Slab check?
Nope.
What?
Flex Tunes.
Oh,
Flex Fuel
Flex Tunes.
And they're back.
They're back. They came out of.
Bum,
they
bum,
just got up.
bum.
Oh, got out of mom's basement. Oh, Flex Fuel. Oh, Flex Fuel Tunes. It's like, we don't do
Go ahead
Flex.
and say it.
We don't do Flex Fuel anything. Next, unless it's stock F-150,
Yep.
and it does it stock.
And we let it ride out.
We don't do Flex stuff anything. Thank you. Next question.
And
Did you guys see the 2018 50 F-150 running 12.7, 12.8 with a tune only?
Sure
Dorian's
did.
truck? I sure did.
Is it Dorian's truck?
Yeah, Dorian's truck.
Sweet.
He says thoughts.
Thoughts? We like them.
Yeah.
Oh, thoughts.
What's the
Thoughts.
best rear gear for 1,000
She got it.
wheel horsepower GT500? I'm ignoring you.
Yeah.
Running on a Gen 3 with a Moser 9-inch 3.70.
This kid gives his mod list. What do you think
So-
about this?
So is he asking the most horsepower we think it
He
could
wants the
run?
best rear gear for 1,000 wheel horsepower GT500.
Is he quarter
Running on
mile?
a Gen 3.
Is he quarter mile racing at half mile or mile racing?
Quarter. He's getting ice cream Sundays. What's the best gear?
If you're getting ice cream Sundays,
373 is fine.
if you're running a like 27.5-inch tall tire,
373.
I'd
1,000
go
rear
350.
horsepower.
I'd go, yeah. Going to get ice cream.
Going to get ice cream. Right.
So if it's a 27.5-inch tall tire and you're spinning it to $7,000 and it makes 1,000 horsepower, go with a 355. If you're running a 28, you're spinning it to like 6,500 and it makes 1,000 horsepower, 373 should
but
be
if
fine.
it's a GT500, they're not revving it that high to go to the car show because there's so much mother's material in the
it
back.
depends on
and
how
the-
quickly you need to get the ice cream back.
And the
is this like
you don't want to. The
is this like
microfiber-
Dairy Queen?
The microfiber towels.
or is this a
are-
Frosty?
The microfiber towels are color matched to the car, so they don't want to like tip them over while they're driving. So I think a 355 is better than a 373 on that car, or maybe
Yeah, because if you run the 373, you might tip the box over.
exactly. And then you get the cup holder all dirty where it says Carol Shelby on it, and it's garbage after that. The resale value goes to.
Or
crap.
if you have to hit the brakes and the ice cream goes onto the dash
they don't
signature.
hit the brakes. Factory Brembos, they don't hit the brakes.
Oh, yeah.
They just pull the
They
E,
stop
the
for you.
E-brake. Yeah.
All right.
It happened. We finally went off on a tangent.
We have about 10 minutes
We do.
10-4.
before
Oh.
it's 2:30.
Oh, got it.
Trying to get you out of here because I know you guys have a lot to catch up on.
Ooh,
So
is the show going to 3? Yeah, hour and a half. Got it. I forget.
you want to go to 3 or you want to
I
go
thought we go to
2:30?
3. I thought we go to 3. all the time.
No, it was supposed to be an hour show, but it ends up being like an hour and a half show
Oh, okay.
most of
Got
the
it.
time.
I
Okay,
mean,
go
if you
for it.
want to go to 3, I can.
No, not really. I want to talk about the racing eventually.
I'm on
Okay,
vacation, so I would prefer
I'm
if it
gonna
ended sooner
ask
rather
like
than
2
later.
more questions and
Okay.
let you talk about the racing.
Cool.
Okay.
Mark said, Alex, will you be dyno tuning at Carlisle? My friend would be interested in a tune for his 14 GT500. If so, how would I go about getting an appointment for the show? We will be doing dynos there
Yeah.
and tuning. I think I need to update the map, and they can contact sales at VMPPerformance.com,
There you go.
True
and
story.
our team can put you on the appointment list.
True story.
Gerald says an 11 GT500 with a 2.4 pulley with VMP 91 tune. I got a Ford Racing 65mm throttle body and JLT 123 intake for a good price. Is it worth putting it on my stock blower or wait until I get a 2.3 TVS?
No, you can put it on your stock blower. It'll definitely upgrade that little blower. It'll bring it to like what 550 wheel or something like that or something.
Not on 91.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So the stock cold air on 1112 is pretty decent. The JLT 123 will be a slight gain with the stock blower. The throttle body's probably going to get you a little more from a power standpoint. So
Then the 2.4 pulley on the stock blower.
you can't do 2.4
Can you
pulley
do
stock
2.4?
blower. 1112.
Oh, okay. Here,
Yeah.
So what's the
So-
smallest you can do? 2.8, 2.6?
2.5 is the
2.5.
smallest you can do on 1112.
Gotcha.
Matt says he purchased an 11 model with Lund cram tuning. Is it safe to daily the car with this tune?
Yeah.
Lund cram tuning?
Yeah, that's when they cram the file in as opposed to letting it flash.
All right, Dan. Yeah, I mean, get with Lund. Make sure that the file that's in the car isn't like a dedicated
Crammed?
race file or
Right.
like a 110 octane file.
Right.
I think you can do you can buy back into the tuning if you're not the original purchaser
I believe so.
of the tune with Lund.
Yeah.
So just get
Get
with
with
Lund
them,
on that. I
yeah.
can't really tell you whether or not the file that's in your car is safe without knowing what file's in it.
Cammed tune on a GT500?
It
Man.
said crammed.
Okay, fine.
We'll say cammed.
Brap, 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 brap,
Babbity,
brap.
babbity, babbity, babbity.
Baby
Yeah.
bobby boop.
Yeah. Blake wants to know which, it looks like he's asking which VMP cars are going to Ponies in the Smokies.
The Focus?
The Focus. Focus RS. Mm-hmm. SEMA car.
And with that said, you probably have about 7 minutes
Cool.
if you want to start talking about the.
The racing. Okay, I don't know. It depends on which video he has. What do you got queued up there? And feel free to speak up because we got to hear you.
I've got all three, your runs and all three Rebecca's, so whatever you want.
We can start at Rebecca's because Rebecca's was the most impressive.
Most impressive.
Got it. So let's see which one you got queued up there. Rebecca ran insanely consistent. I mean, just so consistent all weekend. She was an 8-1 car all weekend long in like 2,000 DA. The car's straight rolling out. I mean, rolling out. It launched well. It mile an hour well. What were your
Didn't do
impressions?
any of this.
It didn't do any
just-
silliness. She hit all her shift points. Justin was right on point with everything. Her and Justin got together on everything. But yeah, what were your impressions of the car all weekend, really, on Rebecca's car?
Really consistent. Really happy with how the
at
car did and how.
Look at that! Wow. And it was like 164, I think, 166 or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that range, depending on the run and what the conditions were and stuff. But
Right, yeah. She ended up- she
really
had-
consistent.
And it cut, I think, a best of a 1-1 or something like that. Yeah.
114 or something, 60 foot.
Yeah, it was.
And it's
unreal.
worth noting that Jason, regarding the conversation earlier, broke 4 ribs. Was it Friday night?
The track prep guy, I guess, was going down to the track to make sure there was nothing hurt on the car or oil on the track, and he he ate it pretty bad and with his scooter and just like broke 4 ribs and
His
scraped up his
elbow's all
elbow.
scraped
Yeah,
up,
and
but-
he's like, no, I'm good.
He was out there shoveling like rubber off the track.
Yeah, he's out there just working it, and he stayed. He's a trooper. That guy's way tougher than I am, because like the announcer said, if I break 1 rib, I'm done.
Exactly.
He had 4 cracked or broken ribs. But let me look at that. This is against Jim Brom, twin turbo car. He just rebuilt. Looks really good too.
It does. The white inside the. Was it his car or the green car where the firewall was like immaculately clean?
His car, because it was hit. But this was round 1 eliminations, and she had him covered pretty good. But that's funny how an 8-1 car looks to be that far ahead of an 8-4 car. I thought it'd be tighter, but yeah, we met Jim and Brett LaSala there. They had a good time. And I think her last run, if I'm not mistaken, was it against Brett LaSala, the green car? Yep, he's run 7s before in good weather, and he had her covered on power and everything, but it was actually a pretty tight race. Real good to see Mustangs representing at the show, man.
Yeah.
Florida cars, man.
Yep, 3 Ford cars.
And they're there at the repping. It was Brett, Jim, her, and there was a couple of supers that were rolling out. But let's stay on this one. Her car basically just got new suspension, right? She got UPR stuff. She got lowering springs, Viking stuff. I think the springs were Viking, and then the rest is all revalved Menser. And they put some 2.0 welds on it. You can see Justin tiptoeing because he learned that if he flat foots on the track, he loses his shoe.
He's gonna have a bad time.
Did he have sandals? Oh, that's a bad look.
I don't think he did.
I hope not.
I think he wasn't wearing the sandals this weekend.
Yeah, but she was cutting a low 1-2 or a high 1 something all weekend. I think Brett got her on the tree on this one. Yeah, just slightly.
Yeah.
But look at that. Straight as an arrow, tight race. And then he started to pull on her right at the top end right here with a turbo just
Yeah, it
does
looks
its
like
work.
she was on. It looks like she was on his back bumper. Throughout the race.
Yeah, it was good, and it was funny when they came back. Brett was like, "I needed more track," because I was like, "We're right next to each other." And once the turbos picked up, it was done. Did you want to just play mine, and we can just talk about those and get back to tuning? So this was against Sheldon Lewis. I think he broke the tires loose. My car pretty much ran 9.4 all weekend, like all weekend. You can see me doing a lot of work by holding onto the steering wheel and doing nothing else because it's an
very
auto.
vigorous.
It takes 0 talent to drive an auto, so. As you can tell. So that run was a 9.4, so you can't see the time clock, but trust me, they're all 9.4s. So that was the first round of qualifying versus Sheldon. This is the race, I think, against what, the Firebird, Chris? No?
That's another Mustang.
This is the guy who won last year. This is the street car winner of last year.
the-
Sheldon Lewis drove it.
Yeah, it was black, like 13, 14.
Yeah, it was clean as hell, and he straight dogged me. It wasn't even close. But it looks cool initially, like the first 2 seconds, it looks like I'm there. Then I'm not. Then I just like disappear.
It looks better from this
You know
angle.
what's great? When you disappear from camera view, that's how bad you're getting gapped. I'd like to see that because when the camera panned, I'm like, oh, I'm not even in the shot anymore. And and I have a car that runs mid-9s. That shows you how much faster a car that's like a second and a couple tenths is. It looks good there, then it's over. Yep.
Yep, that's where the gap starts.
And see, I'm out of the shot right there.
There's like 2 school buses there.
Yeah, oh, it wasn't
That's
even close.
bad.
And I was moving. I was going 148, and that thing was going like high 160s.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably almost 170.
Yeah, and then the
Looked
race
like it
with
was
the
moving.
race with the Trans Am, you guys can probably watch it on my page and stuff. That was a good time. But yeah, good time. The racing was excellent. Tons of Mustangs repping. I think he might have won the whole race
Brandon
again.
said that is Matt Freeman.
Yep, Matt Freeman. There you go. I think he won it again. I'm not 100% because I know it wasn't Lasala was in the final. A Florida guy who went to the final in streetcar, but I don't know who he went up against.
The A final?
The A final, yeah,
Yeah.
he went up there because Rebecca, she got beat in the second round, I got beat in the first, I was out of there. But yeah, 8-1 consistent all week on Rebecca's car, 9-4 consistent all couple days with my car, and I think we did a good showing. We didn't look like dummies not know what we're doing. We got down the track, A to B passes.
Yeah.
Can't ask for anything more, really.
Didn't really break anything.
No,
so
didn't really hurt anything. The cars
Nice.
just did what they did. Mine was an Uber. We went to what restaurant did we go to?
we went to Outback, Longhorn,
And then Longhorn
and
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's. We'll call Buc-ee's a restaurant because there's enough food there to where you can consider it a
So
restaurant.
like after the racing was done, we'd all get in my car and we'd drive somewhere. So we were looking for swangers, couldn't find any swangers.
No swangers to be
No
found.
swangers in Houston.
You guys got to let us know where to find those for next
It's
year.
like in the bad neighborhood, so I wasn't willing to do that.
In a bando?
In the bando.
Frank at Power by the Hour.
Yep.
Coyote,
Pezzo? Yes.
Padermo?
No, Perdomo. Yeah.
Perdomo says Coyote swap. How much does one cost?
You probably should call Power by the
call
Hour.
him. Yeah, call him. He's just trying to crowbar in. Actually, we
Of
want to
course he
get
is.
we want to get Frank up here eventually to talk about Coyote swaps. We want to get fuel injector clinic people up here because we already have fuel injector clinic wanting to come up. We have Power by the Hour wanting to come up. If you want to showcase your product, because Jeff Gerkel ran out of clutches like the next day after he came on the show. So if you want to promote your stuff, we're not charging you. Just get up here, sit down. You have thousands of people at your disposal to talk about your product, and if you need an avenue to get your stuff out there, come on by. We'll take a back seat. You take the questions. We'll just kind of
Hang out, party with you.
Yep. Get you drunk. Get you naked. Especially.
Oh, they're already talking about. Yeah, no. If you saw the conversation going on,
No. Yeah.
Oh, right in line with the conversation? Glad we're all on the same page
they're
here.
wanting to know. Yeah,
All day, baby.
who's receiving?
Excellent. So yeah, are we gonna pretty much end it there, Miss Kara? Unless you have a bunch of other questions going on.
We do have questions,
Right.
but Travis is doing a pretty good job at handling YouTube.
Thank you, Travis.
And,
Nice.
if you guys like and share the show,
And subscribe.
And subscribe to the
Yeah,
YouTube
well, and
channel.
subscribe.
Because that makes us money.
Profit.
well, that's on YouTube.
Right.
Facebook, if you like and share it. I'm sure I can get one of the guys to go in and look at the questions after the fact.
80
But-
shares. No 80
100.
shares?
80 shares. that's-
Hey, that is worth our time. If it is
Okay.
not worth our time, sorry.
No profit.
All right, guys, I tried to help you, but they're.
We got too many tunes to do, and he's gone for the week. He's
They
got to
got a lot of
put
work
bars
to
on his truck, yeah, so.
And with that said, it is 2:31.
All right, we're out of here.
The
We're gonna end it-
tornadoes are
We're
incoming.
going to end it on time. We got tornadoes coming, hail. I'm going to drive down to West Palm in my drag radial. So if you see a sideways Mustang down the road,
In the ditch.
give me a hand. Hopefully I'll be okay.
That'd be sad.
But thanks for
So
watching.
sad.
Tune in for Burnout Box. Are they going to do it on location again like last week?
They are going to do it on location. What they're going to do, actually, hold on one second before we shut off.
Because that's cool. I thought it was, it was interesting to the setup, and I think it has potential if you do on-site stuff
They're
like that.
going to do it at the Clear and Shine Run Party,
Nice. Clean, shine.
which is at the Quaker Steak and Lube
You should just do a conference call
Yeah,
with
right.
them with the headsets in so that someone can read the questions to them if we're not there.
So I think what they're going to do is they're going to actually go and they're going to showcase some of the cars, look at some of the cars that are there and set up and things of that nature and do their talk that
Cool.
way.
So they'll be at Ponies in the Smokies. There'll be Justin, Rebecca, the team. Justin, Rebecca, Donnie. Can't miss Donnie. 6'7", big guy. Yeah, just go out there, have a good time. But tune in on that. It'll be live on location. And we're done. We got to get back to tuning.
Yep. That's
And
it.
vacations.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good time.
I'll try.